Today, we are diving deep into a common but challenging topic. How do we help employees who can't just seem to get along? If you've ever managed a team, you know that personality clashes and disagreements are inevitable. So, how do we address this? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the People Processes Podcast. I'm your host, Rhamy Alijil, CEO of People Processes. If you find value in our show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And remember, our website has tons of resources to help you, so don't hesitate to visit peopleprocesses.com. Let's set the stage first. Conflicts among team members are not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, a little conflict can be healthy. It can spark new ideas and drive innovation. The problem arises when conflicts become personal or start affecting productivity or create teams that conflict with one another because they're on each other's side. But we don't need that. Get rid of that headache. The sooner you address the issue, the easier it will be to resolve. So, key point number one, early intervention. Ignoring the signs and hoping they'll miraculously start getting along is as practical as waiting for pigs to fly. I mean, seriously, let's nip this in the bud early. Open and honest communication is point two. What you're going to wind up doing is arranging a meeting with these conflicting parties. Encourage open and honest communication. Don't play the blame game. Instead, focus on how the conflict is affecting the team and work. If people are concerned that speaking their mind could result in repercussions, they'll just clam up. So let's make sure it's a safe space. One thing you can do to help with this is identify the goal you're trying to solve. I don't care if y'all want to play hopscotch after work. There is a conflict here, and it's affecting productivity, and it's causing your coworkers to feel like you all don't get along and they have to pick sides. We're not going to have that. So we have an issue. The issue is there is a perception or an actuality that you two don't want to work together. So our goal is to have open and honest communication about what the problem is and how we can fix this perception or actuality. Identify the root cause. Sometimes the reason behind the conflict can be as trivial as a miscommunication or as significant as a clash of values. Pinpoint by what's causing the friction. Only then can you find a tailored solution. Here's how you do that. Lay out the issue, perception or actuality of conflict, and then let each person talk by themselves with no interruption. Set some ground rules. Party A, you have 10 minutes to explain to me what's going on here from your perspective that means that you two don't get along. Why don't you trust them? What is the issue? What happened in the past? Walk me through it. No one's going to interrupt you. We're not going to say, yes, but that's not how it happened. I just want your opinion of why you two don't get along. Maybe it's that she's rude to me. Maybe it's that there's a real problem and I don't feel like this person takes care of our patients appropriately to medical standards. But let them lay it out. Then the other person gets to go. What's the issue? Why don't you get along? Why do you feel like there's a perception that you two have problems? Right? You're not on defense. You get to lay out exactly what the truth is. Remember, you're not putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound here. You want to tackle the root cause. So you don't have to visit this issue again 6 months down the line. So you got to let both people speak with no interruption to lay out what the problem is. Next up, leverage strengths and weaknesses. Each individual has strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes conflicts arise because people feel threatened or undermined. One way to resolve this is by assigning roles that play to each person's strengths. This is a win-win. Not only eases the tension, but makes your team more effective. So once you've laid out the root cause, you can then ask, all right, party A, knowing that we have to not just have you two work together well, but make sure any perception that you two have some sort of conflict is eliminated, what do you think is the process going forward? And some persons are going to have a really strong view of that. Some are going to say, I'll do whatever's needed. I just want this to be done. But let them use their strengths and weaknesses to figure out what that is. If the conflict continues, then mediation and training is the next step. Consider bringing in a mediator or investing in conflict resolution training. They're professionals handled to training these kind of issues, trained in how to handle these kind of issues. And sometimes an impartial third party can provide valuable insights. Our clients are able to call up People Processes and say, hey, I've tried to work this out as a manager, but I can't seem to get it fixed. So now we need to involve you all. Not the first step, but a third party can really, if it's a major issue, help come to a conclusion. In HR, just a note, if you're just doing this with a pad and pen, like 2 phone calls, Jack, what's your problem with Jesse? And Jesse, that's not the way to do it. Get them in a room, Have a conversation. You can, of course, do this online to make this process more efficient. Number 6, key point. Some things just don't work out, and that's okay. If you've tried every route and the conflict is causing more harm than good, maybe time to make a tough decisions about your team composition or even employment. Sometimes, as a last resort, restructuring could be the way to go. Some people actually shouldn't be in your organization, and a person who has a conflict with them is bringing to your attention a reason why. Most of the time, it's just two people not getting along, and you just have to kind of help. But sometimes one person is saying, hey, this is a real problem, the way this employee behaves, and I'm not going to work in an organization that tolerates it. And you have to decide, are they right? Are they holding standards to your organizations that you want? Or are they being way outside of their lane? And this is your decision, not theirs. And you're going to have to let one of them go. It just is what it is. You should be able to make that determination. The goal is not to eliminate conflict, but to manage it effectively. A cohesive team is not one that never argues. It's one that knows how to resolve conflicts efficiently and respectively. So, team leaders, HR pros, don't shy away from conflicts. Embrace them as an opportunity for growth and development. Create an environment where respect reigns supreme and differences can coexist. If you found this episode helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We would love to hear your stories or strategies for dealing with conflict at the workplace. Add them as a comment. Visit our website. Check us out at peopleprocesses.com, and on there you can also add comments. Until next time, this is Rhamy Alijil, reminding you that HR isn't just about processes, it's about people too. And sometimes that means just taking the time to sit down, lay out the problem, lay out a solution, and get agreement moving forward. Let's make those people processes flow better for everyone involved. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Now it's time for you to go out there and get your work done. See you later.